just to touch the hem of his garment.
Yeah, because I I can only imagine. Like to see
Man.
and like I said, to see a reenactment or to see that it actually happened in front of you.
And that's a good testimony of faith, because sometimes she says we never really hear her say she need to see him or to speak to him. She just said, just let me touch him.
Mm-hmm. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they wanna show. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, if you are
Dun, dun, dun.
what you say you are, then have no fear.
I like how you did that.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Yo. Welcome to the You Stuck With Me podcast. It's your boy Marquis.
And this is your one and only, your favorite Taylor.
And we are definitely excited about this episode for you guys because it was very, very dope. And I say dope, I mean it in the dopest way possible.
We witnessed a lot of star power.
Yes, we did.
Yes. So I don't know which one should we start with?
Let's start with the one that you warned me that I was going to be in tears.
And I was right.
You were right, but it was for a different reason.
Okay. Now, this one is near and dear to my heart. First of all, a lot of people don't know my full name.
Let's break it down for them.
I'm not about to tell the people my middle name.
It's not a bad one.
It's not. So, well, it ain't like I have a passwords or anything like that. So, I'm actually named after a very, very well-known superstar in my eyes. So, my middle name is Valencia.
Such a beautiful name.
Oh, thank you. So, my middle name is Valencia, and I'm actually named after a very talented, very beautiful, very strong woman that my mom has the pleasure of calling like a friend, her bestie, her sister.
First of all those good names that you came up with, don't do her justice.
It's not enough names to describe what the immaculate woman she is.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
And
right.
and she has a voice of a very, I think I put in my post, it was a very angelic voice or something like that. I just know that I wasn't blessed with that talent. I'm not blessed with talent singing. The only time I feel like I can sing like her is on this podcast and in the shower. Okay. And then you probably catch me on a good day when I can hit like a low note like, yo, like that. So, But no, my auntie Val, she started her very first live production this past weekend. And I don't want to butcher the name of the play. I think it was Desperately Seeking His Touch.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Desperately Seeking His Touch. And it's a play based on the story in the Bible of the woman who had the issue with the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, yep, there you go. Desperately Seeking His Touch. Shout outs to Steve. He always get us straight with the facts.
Mm-hmm.
So, Desperately Seeking His Touch. So it was a play that's based on the story in the Bible about the woman who had an issue with blood. So one thing that I liked about that, besides that my auntie was the star of the show in my eyes, but in the Bible, the young woman does not have a name. Mm-hmm. She's unnamed. We just know her as the woman who had issue with the blood. So what I liked about it is they gave her a name in the play. They called her Zenobia, which I think that's a very pretty name.
I agree with that.
Right?
It's fitting.
So Zenobia had this issue with blood. I want to say it could have been they don't really divulge into that, but it could have been a numerous of things. And her journey, it shows her journey of seeking Jesus. She was like, if I could touch the hem of his garment, that's where that saying comes from. If I could touch the hem of his garment, I would be healed.
And I'm gonna tell you guys why that is so prominent with me. But go ahead, babe.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So for everybody who knows and is not new to the podcast, in 2017 I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia, a blood cancer. So through all the things that I've been through in terms of pain and all that, there have been times where I was in so much pain and I was just thinking like, because obviously I'm a believer, I would say to myself, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, literally. So going to see this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going to be a good production. Obviously, we're going to go and support Auntie Val. So as they had about 9 different scenes or 8.
I think it was 7. It was 7. They broke it up into different parts. So like you had 7A, 7B.
Okay, so it was 7. So after the intermission, about 5 of the scenes are taking place. So we break for lunch, we go get some food, and we come back, and I tell her after we have sat down, I'm going to need some tissue.
And I was like, wait a minute, what you need tissue for? You just blew your nose. And I was like, oh.
So I already knew the story of the woman with the issue of blood, obviously.
Yeah, because if you're not familiar with it, so she was bleeding and had been suffering for, I want to say 12 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be suffering with anything, right? And I can see why that resonate with you, because even though it hasn't been 12 years, it's been long enough.
Yeah, 7 years since I received the diagnosis. So as the story is progressing,
and she hasn't sang yet.
And yeah, at this point she hasn't sang.
She hasn't sang yet. Marquis had never heard her sing. I've had the pleasure of hearing her singing before, and I was like, "Bae, I'm telling you right now, I know how this story touches your heart. So mixed in with that and her voice, oh baby, you gonna get your whole life real quick."
So she hasn't sang yet, but I'm already welling up with tears because it's getting to the critical part of the play, the central point, which is she's arrived in,
and it's a big crowd. So they arrive, they find her friends find Jesus. And her friends are just like in awe, like, oh, this is him, this is the king, this is Messiah. And like everybody's around him, surrounding him. So Zenobia's sitting on the side. She was like, she's not really loud or whatever like that. So I'm going back based on the play. So she goes into the crowd. She's working her way through the crowd. And she finally gets to him. And she touches his garment. And she comes out. She's just like, yes. Her whole demeanor is just like, yes. Like she's moving around. She's not sad anymore. She's not in pain. She's rejoicing.
And it was one thing for me to say it and read it in the Bible, but for someone to reenact it
and just take in like the praise, just to see the transformation.
Yeah, I was in complete tears just because I've lived it.
Yes.
To a degree, but I lived it and I get the whole premise, and it really hit a spot with me. And she turns to look at me, and she sees me wiping away tears, and obviously she knew why.
Yeah, I let him have his moment.
Yeah, it was definitely a moment. So to see great actors and actresses act it out and tell the story, it really touched me, and I can only imagine what it was like to actually see Jesus and to touch the hem of his garment.
Just to touch the hem of his garment.
Yeah, because I can only imagine. See in reenactment, or to see that it actually happened in front of you.
And that's a good testimony of faith, because sometimes she says we never really hear her say she need to see him or to speak to him. She just said, just let me touch him.
Mm-hmm.
And traveling a long way with being in suffering and pain like that, I say that's the definition. Just having this, faith that's the size of a mustard seed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine being told by Jesus in person after I touched his garment, he said, "Go, go, my son. Your faith has made you whole."
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would go shouting through the streets. I
And that's what she
promise
did.
you.
She was shouting, baby.
Even though didn't Jesus tell her to go to, don't tell anybody, but go to the priest and show them your healing?
I think that's what he told the lady with leprosy.
Leprosy.
Yeah, with leprosy. Yeah. So, man, whew, that was a tearjerker. So, of course, I didn't tell. I said, "Babe, I'm not gonna tell her that we coming. I'm not gonna tell her that we're coming." So, first of all, she's very funny too.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. So when she first mentioned about it, she just shared it on Facebook like, "This is my first live production. You know, you can get your tickets from me or whatever like that." I already knew I wasn't gonna get my tickets from her because I don't want her, to know that I was coming. Because I think before the last time I seen her or talk, we always talk like through text and everything like that. But actually seen her, I haven't seen her since the wedding. Right. So I'm like, I'm just gonna surprise her. Right. So still ain't got these tickets yet. Or I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get these tickets whenever. The same day we had talked about getting the tickets, she makes a Facebook post. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Don't be trying to say we are friends when I hit the big screen or whatever. If you haven't got your tickets, you could get them at the door." Fine. I said, "Babe, do you think I should tell you?" You was like, "No." No. And the crazy thing about it was she had tagged like all her close friends that she knew hadn't bought tickets yet. Like, how do you know that I ain't get my ticket yet?
Mm.
So we went on here and got the tickets or whatever, and I think we was in the third row on the side.
Yeah.
Probably the second and third row on the side. So if you see my Snapchat, you see all the angles and shots that I got. It was very, very good. So the show's over. She's talking to her family, her husband, kids, and everything like that. I said, "Come on, babe, let's go say hello." So next thing I know, I'm on the side of her and I tap her. She was like, "My stick." You came to surprise me. I was like, "I know. I had to come see you before, so I could say that I was one of the little people that you know before you hit the big screen."
And Aunt Val can definitely blow when it comes to singing.
I told you.
I never doubted it, but
Told you.
to actually hear her.
To actually hear her, yeah. My mom used to always tell me about her singing, like she could really sing. And I think I haven't heard her sing that many times, but the times I have heard her sing, it was amazing.
I believe it wholeheartedly. I believe it.
And also, I really was adamant about going too because just to see her in a space where she wants to step out that comfort zone and try things she always wanted to do. I don't call it bucket list, but I call it my life to-do list. So just to check off something off her to-do list, it's amazing. And it goes to show you, no matter how old, how young that you are, if you have a dream and or you have a passion that you want to pursue, go ahead and do it.
Amen to that.
Go ahead and do it.
So we got to talk about after the show. So we went back to her house. We didn't know that she was going to have something at her house. It was like very last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we went. We ate good food, good people, good vibes.
Good drinks.
Good drinks. But I told her, and I told you before I did, I said I have to tell her that when I was in pain, when I was in the hospital, whatever I was going through physically, I would say if I could just touch the hem of his garment. And I did tell her, and she just said, "Amen. Amen," because as a believer, when you're going through your worst things, whatever it is, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, just calling on the name of Jesus and hoping that he hears you, not only hears you, he responds. Faith without works is dead. So that
come on, Deacon.
Faith without works is dead. So you got to have faith, and the faith is, I'm trying to make sure I say this right. Faith is the belief of things to happen, but things not seen. I want to say that's the correct way to say it.
Something
No,
like that.
oh no, faith is the evidence of things that. I know what I'm trying to say, but I messed it up. Oh, there it is. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, but the conviction of things not seen.
I mean, when I hear that, it reminds me. I forgot what I saw this on or heard it from. Somebody said, one of the things that was always talked about when you're a believer, like how can you believe in something that you don't see, right? Somebody said, well, you believe in you believe that you're breathing, you believe in air, but you don't see it.
You don't see electricity, but you turn on the light.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in gas, but you turn on the stove, don't you?
Mm.
Or you can't see gas, but you turn on the stove.
Mm.
So I'm just saying.
I just feel all the church and the what's the word I'm looking for? The spirit just coming through this episode right now. I love it.
Jesus is definitely breathing on this episode right now.
Yeah, and Jesus got a sense of him because I know I cuss a lot, I drink a lot, all this other stuff. Y'all hear the way I talk on here, but I'm a heathen, but I'm a saved heathen.
I'm not gonna lie. There have been times in my life, not to get off topic, where something has happened to me, I just look up and I'm like, God, you funny.
There's never been a time in my life.
But shout out to Auntie Val. Shout out to the rest of the cast, the directors. They did a
shout out to the
job.
whole production because
yes.
That was on time. That was something that was needed for Palm Sunday.
Definitely.
And that was a reminder. That was just a reminder for me, like, I shouldn't give up on my dreams.
I don't think you ever really wanted to.
I never really wanted to give up on my dreams, but sometimes I feel like I just need to step away, take a break, or feel like I was stuck.
Are you stuck?
Let's talk about that real quick. Let's do a beeline for this.
Let's wait on that one because that's gonna come later. We want to make that a bigger thing. I know what that's gonna be a bigger thing. We're gonna come back to that.
All I'm gonna say is listen to your elders. They full of wisdom.
But to wrap up that part of the day, that was a great message, great actors, great everything.
And one day we're gonna get Auntie Val on the show. I already told her.
Yeah, one day we'll get her on the show.
We're gonna get on the show. So, Auntie Val, shout out to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support, and we're gonna get you on here.
So after we left her house because we had somewhere else to be, we went to the Laugh Factory.
Baby.
But the reason we went to the Laugh Factory is because we wanted to support a very good cause.
Yeah.
So first of all, the comedians at the Laugh Factory, very funny.
Yes.
All of them. Two in particular.
Shout outs to Kelly Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Howard, this is her brainchild.
Mm-hmm. Because what she did was...
Because it was called, Messing Around?
Yeah.
Yeah, Messing Around.
But the way it's spelled, it's MS.
Yeah. So it uses the initials for MS, multiple sclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this is her brainchild because she was diagnosed with MS, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she said, 2017?
Yeah.
You got to research that.
Yep.
But Kelly Howard.
You spell it with the E on the end of Kelly.
Yep. But yeah, so she was diagnosed with MS. I want to say 2017, 2018, somewhere around that area. And she has this fundraiser show. That's it right there. Oh, 2013. There we go. So she was diagnosed in 2013, and she decided to create this to do a tour to create awareness for MS, to raise funds for like research and provide resources for those who have it. And also we found out about it through a good friend of ours.
Yeah, we did. So we decided that we want to show up and support. So shout out to our good friend Tribble. Because her sister, unfortunately, her older sister died of MS years ago. So we wanted to support for her, show out for her.
And I like the Laugh Factory.
I like the Laugh Factory too.
Yeah.
But also, I found another reason for us to go because we became friends with another podcaster. Shout out to Mike. He's in Philly. He was diagnosed with MS, so we wanted to show out and show up for him too,
Yeah.
because we don't know much about MS, but we just know that unfortunately, it's a disease that people get, which is uncommon. I'm not gonna say uncommon. I'm gonna say it's too common. That's what I want to say. It's too
Well, I
common.
mean, we learned a lot from the comedy show,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I just think it was a dope concept for her to use humor to bring awareness. Because I always say, laughter is life's best pain medicine.
I agree with that, and I hope that she's going to continue. When I say she, I mean Kelly Howard. She's going to continue to do it, because if they do it again next year, we're going to be right back there supporting.
Yeah. And I was lucky that night. No pun intended.
Uh,
Stop being childish. Stop being childish.
Who's the one doing the method acting now?
What?
Who's the one doing the method acting?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I bet you don't.
Huh? Huh?
Who did I marry, y'all?
Huh?
Tell me.
You married me, the love of your life.
Huh?
The love of your life. The love of all lovers, but most importantly, your lover.
Okay, trying to use my own stuff against me. See, this is what happens in our house.
Truth is.
You know what? That could go so many different ways, but I'm not going to even qualify that with
No,
an answer.
I take that song back. I retract it. We're going to say, most of y'all brothers can't deal with the truth.
Nah.
Hating when your woman start hitting you with the truth.
Nah, you did better with the first one.
What, Fantasia?
Yep.
Whatever. You a hater.
No, but like I was saying, I hope that she does do this again next year, because we would love to support. MS is a too common disease that a lot of people do get. And, just like leukemia, just like, I will hope that MS one day we find a cure.
I hope we find a cure for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, because some things are genetic, but other things are just because of your environment. But either way it goes, whether it's, and I've been hearing this one also, sickle cell. So whether it's sickle cell, whether it's MS, whether it's leukemia, I hope that someday close in the future, if not even in our lifetime, our kids' lifetime, there's a cure for all of these.
Working all out this time. Lifetime. Ooh.
Come through with the Maxwell.
I'm just full of songs.
But yeah, you guys, we definitely had a great Sunday last week, a great weekend overall, because we did a lot, support a lot of great causes, and going to the Laugh Factory and supporting those who have MS and been diagnosed with it made me think about the different ways that we could use our platform to bless others and make money and donate for others, other causes, or, a particular cause, just in general.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing to see how we use different platforms to support other causes.
Yeah, because I think that's definitely needed more. I've seen others. I've seen gaming. I know you did one with on Twitch. Gaming was like 30 hours to support Lurie Children's Hospital.
I've done that before, but the most recent one, I said I'm gonna do it again because I felt I just time constraints. But I've done the one for Lurie's Children's Hospital, and also I've done the one for bringing soldier suicide awareness.
Yeah, so that whatever cause that whatever cause that affects you or is near and dear to you, I say that you can always use your best talent to find a way to support and donate and bring awareness to that particular cause. So, I mean, the one I was thinking of, for me, it's already big because a lot of companies and non-for-profits already work with them, but the American Cancer Society, because obviously leukemia is a blood cancer, and come to find out that I'm not alone as a black male who has dealt with it. I mean, it's not common, but there are people who have dealt with it, like I said, like me, and we all have our general issues that we've dealt with, but whether it comes at a different time, you rather just be prepared. So if someone can give you a roadmap who's been there, I would think that the person who needs it will read it and take heed, because unfortunately I didn't have that. I had to learn everything on my own. But when I came across someone who was just recently diagnosed, I told them what to expect, what kind of medication you might be taking, tried to give them the best positive outlook and advice that I could.
Look at you out here changing lives.
I mean, this is part of the platform of the You Stuck With Me podcast. If we're not changing lives for the better, then are we really helping?
Ooh, preach, preacher.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Shabba. But no, I would say one of the things what you saying that reminds me how I've used this our platform to bring awareness of organ donation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I would never know what it's like to be. Well, I have not. I'm not gonna say never. I have not had the experience of what it is to have like something as like leukemia or MS or anything like that. You know, shout out to you and those who are going through these illnesses that can be life threatening or life altering. I mean, y'all are superheroes within yourselves. Let me start off by giving you your flowers. But with organ donation, I'm a organ donor family member. And it's crazy to say that because I feel like it's more of a surplus now of people wanting to know about organ donation. So my mom, she was able to give the gift of sight and tissue. And just like going through that whole experience of like knowing where her donations went, that was amazing. So it's just to give y'all a background story. I've actually did an interview about this. If you haven't listened to it, I was actually going to post it later on next month. But basically, my mom was able to give the gift of sight, so she donated eye tissue to two places. One was in China, and the other one is actually to a recipient out in Homewood, which that hit a little different because I'm like, damn, that's kind of close to home.
Yeah.
So, just talk about that journey. And I mean, I haven't spoke to them yet, but I understand because something like that takes time.
And it's emotional.
Because
for all you guys who've been listening, you guys know that I'm a recipient of stem cell transplant. So.
Yeah. So just with that alone, and I'm gonna be honest to you, that's gonna be emotional for me.
I believe it because it was emotional. I haven't met my stem cell donor yet, but the plans are definitely in the works. And trust me, we're going to have an episode about that one because I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot to talk about.
You haven't met your stem cell donor yet?
No, I haven't met her yet. I've talked to her.
Oh, you mean in person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, you talked to her, but you haven't met her in person yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. And okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute. You talked to her. You have communications with her. But anyway, I haven't had communications with my mom's recipient yet. I mean, it's something I've been praying on. I'm to the point now. It's like I got to keep it in my mind. Like it might be a sensitive thing for them. So whenever they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And so. But anyway, just that and just bringing awareness to that, and then also talking about my process of signing up. To be more involved with that too.
Yeah, because. Just the support of, for MS or leukemia or anything, that's life-saving. Whether you don't do anything physically, but you're doing something monetarily, you're saving a life, whether you know it or not.
Yeah. And it just goes back to paying it forward.
Yeah, paying it forward is big. And, if you guys saw the story that I posted on my social media, yeah, I just.
Which we got to talk about that offline too.
Yeah, we got to talk about that offline. But if you guys saw the story about how I paid it forward for someone who paid it forward for me, it was a big thing. Not a big thing, but it just made me feel good. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, like a hot pocket.
Not necessarily, but it just made me feel good.
Shout out to Kyrie for that. Got me going around saying hot pocket.
You so silly. But yeah, it just made me feel so good just as a person in general.
That's good. Well, babe, you want to tell the people where they could hit us up at?
You guys can hit us up at our You Stuck With Me Gmail account. That is USTUCKWITME@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook. Type in You Stuck With Me Podcast. You can leave us sticky notes there. You can also catch us up on YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and review and share on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And you can find me on my personal social media platforms. Instagram, that is mine_1, M1NE_1. And you can also find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at M1NE_1.
And you can find me on Instagram and the app formerly known as Twitter under Queen Points. That is PO1NTZ. Again, that is Queen Points, PO1NTZ. And also, if you want a little bit more behind the scenes before the government shuts us down with this app, you can find us on TikTok under Queen Points 22. Again, that is Queen Points 22.
Yeah, because she's on it. I'm still not on TikTok, but it looks like
It looks like you won't get the chance. You need to get on where you can get along.
I'm good.
Whatever.
And on that, y'all, this is your boy Marquis.
And this is your one and only, your favorite Taylor.
Hey, make sure y'all come back.
Hey, come back.
You stuck with me. You stuck with us, actually.
You stuck with us.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.